Hey everybody, welcome to my booth. I'm Jay, and we're about to listen to a sample from Kenna. It's a pretty cool idea. She sent a A-B comparison of the same 30 seconds from an audiobook. The first is sort of her initial instincts and impressions, generally cold, unprocessed, raw audio. And then the second half is after she received adjustments from the author, what she did with it. So we'll break down that and talk about what we can discover and deepen within those two things. Before we do, though, hey, if you'd like to receive feedback just like this, you can. It's free. There's a form in the description. Send me something. If you want to receive your feedback a little bit more quickly, you can check out the Booth Buddies down below. Supports these efforts and gives you accelerated feedback from that. Or you can go over to my website. There's coaching there that's one-on-one. Otherwise, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Kenna, let's dive in, shall we? So first, we'll listen to the first 30 seconds and see where we land. Maybe we'll listen to the full thing and build off of that, depending on what adjustments you made. But let's just take a listen.
Permafrost. Hello, it's me again. Pretend to ignore me if you want, but I know you can hear me. I am here in your head, hearing your thoughts, sharing mine. Some time has passed since you sent us here. Things haven't been going well. We've mostly been wandering. What else could we do? There are no cities on this planet, no other people.
Okay, before we get to the second one, let's talk a little bit about what you did here and break down thoughts and ideas there. So first, I really, really like your level of projection. You're talking very much, the text itself says that like it's me projecting your thought or my thoughts into your head and back and forth in some way. So the intimacy of that projection, I think, is pretty successful. Projection just being like, if I'm in your head, I don't really have to talk very loudly. I can just kind of not whisper, but I don't have to yell across a great distance. It's very intimate, and I think that you're pretty successful in that. I also like the sort of, I don't know, you've got a really good handle on sort of or just maybe your vocal presence in general has a good wry sort of, I don't know. I always like characters like this where clearly they're going through some things. Things haven't been going well, but there's a texture to that that's just interesting and compelling. At least it is to me. Things that I think would improve upon your initial instincts. Right now, a lot of the details just don't feel as grounded as I think they could be. So let's go line by line and talk about how we could deepen each of those different things. This is something that you can do either in a script analysis stage as you read it initially, or if you, like me, you like to do just like a cold read to feel or try the words on for size in a more practical way. You can do the cold read in that sense and then just sort of invest more heavily in certain things. So let's go line by line and see what we can come up with.
Hello, it's me again.
So just with that, we know a few things specifically right out of the gate. One, hello, it's me again. It's me again implies that there's a relationship between myself, the speaker, this is first person, and whoever I'm speaking to. And so that cues up a couple of things in my mind. One, as we go through this recording or continue to go through this recording or this text, what is that relationship? Clearly there's a history there, and clearly we're familiar with each other. So what does that mean? And in this initial read, the way you've performed this, hello, it's me again, we don't have any information yet as to what is baked into that, but we can infuse that with more information as we keep going. So let's see what more information comes up as we go.
Pretend to ignore me if you want, but I know you can hear me.
Okay, so we're already getting more information about this relationship, which is great. Hello, it's me again. Pretend to ignore me if you want, but I know you can hear me. So we don't know the nature of it necessarily yet, but we're understanding that there's some level of tension between the speaker and the listener, the person who I'm speaking to. And so then we can go back to the hello, it's me again, and infuse that with a little bit with a little bit more perhaps. So right now, the hello, it's me again sounds like this.
Hello, it's me again.
The hello is hello, it's me again. And if we're understanding that, listen, I know you can hear me, but you can pretend to ignore me, but I'm going to keep talking at you. The hello, it's me again may sound a little different. Right now, it doesn't really have that history or that relationship, particularly that history and relationship that has a little bit of tension to it. If I were to approach it, I might say something like, hello, it's me again. I know you can hear me, or you can pretend to ignore me if you want, but I'm going to keep talking, whatever the lines are. But a little bit more of an edge to it that we can understand that there's a relationship. And in your mind's eye, the more you invest in this person who I'm talking to, I've got a relationship with. And if you have somebody specific in mind that you can use as a proxy or stand-in for that, great. Let's keep going and see how much deeper we can go.
I am here in your head, hearing your thoughts, sharing mine.
So this sounds to me like you're figuring out what the context is behind this, which for an initial cold read is totally fine. But it would be important to revise this in a way that makes sense, because this is introducing a couple other things. One, we understand now that this is in someone's head. This isn't talking out loud, because up till now it's, hello, it's me again. Now you can pretend to ignore me if you want, but I'm going to keep talking to you. All of that up until this new revelation, it stands to reason that could be two people talking in space. It could be two people sitting in a police station, two people in some sort of government building listening to, I don't know, I'm thinking of like thrillers and stuff. But then we hear this, which is really interesting. I'm in your head, listening to your thoughts and sharing mine. And we just have to know what that means. And if in an audition case, like if this was an audition that all we had was this 30 seconds, we would want to make the choice what it means that I'm in your head, listening to your thoughts, sharing mine. And with the sharing mine, we start to hear after this what my thoughts are. So we can infuse that sharing mine with perhaps a challenge or perhaps a plea or something like that. But it has to have some sort of engagement or action towards the person to whom you're speaking. Pardon me. Let's keep going.
Some time has passed since you sent us here.
Okay, some time has passed since you sent us here. The way it's read here, similar to the last little bit, it feels like you're sort of feeling out what's the words are in a way, which is, again, fine for a cold read. But important things to note, some time has passed. How much time? How much, is it months? Is it days? Is it weeks? Is it years? Is it eons? We're in this space where I can talk to you across space into your mind. That opens up a lot of possibilities, potentially, depending on the book. This could be some sort of like Cthulhu creature or something. We don't know. So it's been some time. And how do I feel about that time? So how much is it? How do I feel about that time? And since you sent us here, where is here? What is it? And again, if this is an audition and we don't know where here is or how much time, we just get to make the choice. It could be, some time has passed since you sent us here, if I want to take like a sardonic approach. Or I could be, some time has passed since you sent us here, which has a much more of a challenge sort of baked into it. And the world takes on a much darker tone. So the choice is yours, and depending on the text as well.
Things haven't been going well.
Things haven't been going well. Right now, it sounds to me as like, you sent us here for that thing, and it's really not going super great. And I don't know why this image comes to mind, but like, and I don't mean this in like a diminutive sense, but it sounds like, yeah, the food truck's kind of not going so hot, bud. So we might want to check in on that. And so that would just be things, haven't been going well. And then similar to the how much time, where here is things haven't been going well. What are those things? We got to have stuff in mind. Like if I got sent here years ago with 200 people, and at this point, 125 of them have, succumbed to the elements, or we ran out of food at some point, or if some sort of beast ate the rest of my crew or something like that. All of that information is important to take on board.
We've mostly been wandering. What else could we do? There are no cities on this planet, no other people.
So now we get decent information here, and we understand that this is probably some kind of like digital missive sent from a Mars colony or something like that, sent back to mission control and to a specific person. Hello. It's me again. And we can take on board like the planet, no one's here. We could just wander. What does it mean? How long have we been wandering? Et cetera, et cetera. Okay, all that said, let's take a listen to what adjustments you made after the author gave you some feedback.
Permafrost. Hello, it's me again. Pretend to ignore me if you want, but I know you can hear me. I am here in your head, hearing your thoughts, sharing mine. Some time has passed since you sent us here. Things haven't been going well. We have mostly been wandering. What else could we do? There are no cities on this planet, no other people.
Okay, so a really nice, I think, tonal adjustment here. We hear much more fatigue in this character's voice, much more history in terms of that fatigue. Like, this has been a wearing experience. We hear all of that. We also hear some of a defeated nature, a creeping like cynicism or maybe nihilism coming into play. The things that I think are still somewhat missing perhaps, and this is why breath and negative space or the moments between speech are so valuable. You can call them pregnant pauses, negative space, whatever you want, but they're really, really valuable in material specifically like this. Because that thought, if we let that breathe in a way, literally we let ourselves breathe and we let the thoughts churn in our own mind, it becomes much more deep and rich. Because right now, if we look at each of these spaces, they're essentially the same length. And that's sort of an arbitrary measurement, but because all these breaths are the same, it stands to reason to me, or it's sort of a cue to me after doing this for a long time, that the thoughts aren't really happening as much as maybe they could be. So if we were to take that adjustment on board, it would be something like, hello, it's me again. Some time has passed since we last spoke, or you can try to ignore me if you want, but I'm here, talking into your thoughts, sharing mine, and, so there's sort of like a halting, moving energy. I'm not doing the text because I don't have the text, but something like that I think would really liven it up, because you're also somewhat following the phrasing of the written word. And because this text specifically is so sort of confessional in a way, you can think of it like Captain's Log, permafrost. Hello, it's me again. You can ignore me if you want, but I know you can hear me. We're in each other's heads, me sharing my thoughts and you listening to mine or me listening to yours, whatever. It's been some time since you sent us here. And you can just, I'm not doing it well, but there's the thought pattern there. I'm gathering the things and then tossing them out. One thing that was helpful in my training, and I'll leave you with this, one of my teachers in undergrad, we did this with Chekhov, the great Russian master of theater. But he had this exercise where we would do pebble tossing, not literally, but we would imagine pebbles. And then another teacher, we did scooping. So these are two similar techniques that have a similar outcome or goal to them. The pebble toss is you take the phrase, thought, idea, word, however you want to break it down, you toss it to the person, and you wait to see until it lands. And then you pick up the next pebble, you toss it, and you wait to see it until it lands. And it doesn't always have to have a lot of space between it, because you can start tossing pebbles a little bit more quickly. And you can toss other things too. You could toss a frisbee. You could toss a baseball. You could toss a rock, whatever you want. And those can have different meaning and imply different actions to the person. So it might be, hello, it's me again. I know you can hear me. You can try to ignore me if you want. So that's one. And then scooping is you look down at the text, you take it in, and deliver it to the person. So it would be, hello. It's me again. And you would take it somewhat slowly. But the idea is you allow yourself the sort of hyper-focus and attention in a training way, not necessarily in a performance way, definitely not in a performance way. That would be painful to watch. But you allow yourself the time to pull in the thing, breathe it in, and deliver it, and wait until it lands. And something like this might benefit from something like that, but you could give it a try. Anyway, hope this was helpful for you, Kenna, and everybody else out there. And until the next one of these, be well, y'all, and I'll see you there. Toodles.